Well, with me now is royalty, in my view, as it relates to the restaurant scene in the state of New Jersey. Sharon Egan, Chris Egan, welcome to the two of you.
Hello, John.
Thanks, John.
Maybe it's the obvious. These are the proprietor owners of Egan's, which first pub in Montclair, opened in West Orange, and then the ancillary to Montclair is Halcyon.
That's right.
Amazing places.
Oh, thanks.
I was teasing you before off air. I said you're going to give Irish cooking a good name all of a sudden.
Yeah. I think Irish cooking has a good name, actually. I never associate it with anything but fresh and wholesome and
That's a good
farm
segue.
to table.
Farm to table cooking was your specialty,
Yeah.
and the two of you were, an amazing match on several levels.
Yeah, thanks.
Born in London.
In London originally, yeah.
Trained really at Dad's Business, which is a famous pub in Dublin,
That's right,
Bruxelles.
yeah.
You came to Boston to work at, I guess, the second brew pub
That's
in
right.
America, and that's
That's
where
right.
you met the lovely Sharon, and the
right.
rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Brewing Company, which was near the Boston Garden at the time.
And the two of you go back to Ireland, and that
Mm-hmm.
was where you entered that very prestigious cooking school.
Ballymaloe Culinary School in County Cork in Shanagary, little town in West Cork.
And so you gave the nomenclature before from farm to table, or however it goes. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, the history of Ballymaloe is that it is a farm, and it was a beautiful, stately home on a farm in Cork. And I guess it was in the 70s, the woman that owned the home, Myrtle Allen is her name, and she needed to supplement the family income. And so she decided to open up her home to have dinner. And she put a little ad in the Cork Examiner that said, dine in a stately manner or whatever. So she got her first couple, they came out, and the rest is history, that they just became this beautiful kind of, it's considered a B&B, but it's a little bit more than that. And then it went on to have a culinary school, and they basically took this town of Shanagary and made it into kind of the Allen, I don't know, what would you call it, Christopher?
Culinary
Yeah, it's a destination.
Well, with that training and with your family history,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden a trip to Montclair, New Jersey, and opens up Egan's.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that was 13 years later.
Yeah, I was commuting, it's a long commute, but it was a commute back and forth to Dublin. We had 4 places in Dublin at the time, and busy places. We had about 200 people working for us, and a lot of things happening, and the businesses were very close to each other, walking distance from all 4 of them. So we had good management in place. Sharon's mother was getting older, and we decided to move back to New Jersey. The time was right for the boys as
Kids
well.
were the right age.
It was just the right age. And Sharon's mother couldn't come to us as much, and Sharon, being the only daughter, wanted to be with her in case she was sick
Sure.
or anything like that. So I decided that I could, hop on a plane. Newark is close by, Newark Airport, be back in Dublin, do a week or 2. But I decided then that my boys didn't realize I had a job. They thought that I was there in the morning for breakfast. I was there when they came back from school. And I thought, this isn't good, because they were finding me jobs in, Mr. Dino's Pizza. They were saying they're hiring Dad,
Applegate's.
They didn't realize that I actually worked in Dublin and came
Boy,
back.
and as they're older, they know there's no business more difficult than the restaurant
Yeah,
business, as
yeah.
far as just the sheer time that you need to put in and the challenges.
So we found the one that, as you're probably aware in New Jersey, the limited amount of liquor licenses there are per town. And then there was one available, and I'm sort of, my speciality is working with wine and things like that. And so we found the available liquor license in Walnut Street, and we expanded that. And the
Chris,
rest
there's
is
a lot
history.
of Irish pubs around, truth be told, but Egan's just has struck a chord. What's unique about it? Explain.
Well, I think that we followed a kind of trend with Sharon's sort of cooking ability and sensibilities towards this sort of fresh food. When just on an economic...
I can taste the toasties right now as you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
that comes from Bruxelles.
we felt that we had an advantage having a liquor license, having the ability to be able to sell beer and wines and spirits and things. So we felt that if that were the sort of profitability side of the business, the advantage there, food should supplement that, and there should be good food to bring people in. So we worked on, New Jersey's the Garden State. We were able to get really good produce. We get deliveries 6 days a week from our meat vendors and our fish.
Jersey
and
fresh.
It really
Yeah.
is, and
We use the market up the street, the farmers market, Montclair.
and you know, we have a van ourselves, and we go and source things ourselves in Paterson and all over, you know, to get things for the restaurant.
I just love the ambiance. And how did you put that together? Now I know you have major, you know, sampling of Irish art.
Well, we do. We had an art gallery in Dublin, Chris and I, and we collected almost not all the artwork is contemporary Irish, because since we've moved in, we've bought some local artists' work. Linda Ippolito, who did the big mural, and Jackie Sanchez did the ceiling, which is in Halcyon, which is actually hand loomed. So our son is an artist, you know, so we have an art background. And
Well, wonderful art, great food, friends.
Yeah.
No wonder why I never want to leave. Now, as we get toward the nicer weather, and then that's, you know, at least half the year it's such. Another thing that I love about your restaurants is that there's an outdoor component, both in Montclair and in West Orange,
West Orange,
which is
that's
open
the
now
great
2 years.
asset to West Orange is that patio in the back, and it has a full bar back there. It's fully licensed, you know, so it's got a good kind of, you know,
Actually, and it's
tiki bar kind of atmosphere back there.
and it's a little hideaway there. It's set back in a sort of an area of land, open land, and it's sunken slightly, so it's kind of private, and it's something that, you know, on a busy street, you don't expect this sort of to be there, and people
Yeah,
find
it's a
it,
little
and
oasis.
it's a little oasis there.
And I love the respect that you showed for the history of that place, to the
Oh,
extent
thanks.
of, you know, having Quigley's was a venerable Irish
Right.
pub there, and so
Exactly.
you have a Quigley's brew.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then obviously, you know, Edison, you know, Thomas
Yeah,
Edison,
yeah,
having
so-
lived.
Yeah, we
and
tried to keep the
changed
names
the world.
local.
We do. We license our beers now. We started to make our own beer in the first Egan's pub in Montclair, and the success of this brew, we just couldn't keep up with it. So we have our beer made for us locally, and we license 7 names, 7 titles. We make 4 in Montclair. And
We have a
3 in
brewery
Western.
license.
So that works out very well. And we're just about to bottle our own beer now.
That's what I wanted to get
I
in
you
there.
can't
to
wait.
get it
I
from-
want the first pop.
Yeah, we're very close to bottling it.
Now, as it relates to Halcyon, which is the third jewel, if you will, that's a little bit of a different place, a little
is.
more formal seafood, you know, steak.
Well, I think that Halcyon is a bit of a folly for us, because we have this, maybe Halcyon, maybe one of our, maybe 6th places. So Chris and I just did a place that we wanted. You know, we considered ourselves when we opened this place.
You know, it's awesome that you say that, because I think you have like a magic wand. If anybody's under 30, they're not allowed to come in. I don't have to see my
50.
children there.
No, that's, yeah, I mean, later at night, but during, you know, I like a place, you know, I was saying to the girls before we came out here that when I moved back here from Dublin, we had quite a nice lifestyle in Dublin, and we had a nightclub, and, you know, I would always get to go out at night and get dressed up, and when I moved back to Montclair, which I love, which is my home that I grew up in, I kind of miss that. And you know, if you wanted to get dressed up and feel fancy, you had to go in the city. But with little kids, you don't always have time to make that big trip. So it's nice, and you don't have to get dressed up to come to Halcyon, but if you want to, you can feel that way. And ladies like it, and, you know, so.
Well, it's just, you know, it's all, and maybe it's a product of the wonderful people of Ireland. You know, you get the sense of family and closeness and friends that you just haven't met before. And that spirit at your restaurants is the same thing. You just feel comfortable.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, we make an effort. There's a difference, I think, between our places and other places. People ask me, you know, what creates a good bar, or what is the, you know, the manifestation of a good bar. And my thought is the bar itself, and we always have a generous bar. In Halcyon, it's a big horseshoe bar that I brought over from Belfast. It was in a hotel in Northern Ireland, and it's a good, generous bar. And actually, people could say, well, you could have got more tables in, but it's where people meet. It's actually, a good bartender will organise his regulars to introduce each other and meet with each other at the bar. And I think it's become, you know, as we say, you know, in Ireland, you know, meeting at the crossroads. It's a place where people can come, and even if you're alone or waiting for someone, you can spark up a conversation, and you know, and talk about town politics, and talk about, you know, things that are happening in schools and all sorts of things.
It's a real meeting place.
Yeah.
Sharon, what's next? A third one about to open? Or 4th?
Well,
Oh, here's
now-
the secret. Not yet.
Not. We talk about it all the time. We have something that we'd like to do that is different from what we do now. But I'd like it to be a holiday destination place, because we spend a lot of time at work, and you know, if I do another place, I think it's going to have to be
maybe the Jersey Shore or something.
you know, a place where I can
There
have a
you
little
go.
apartment above it, and I can kind of
Yeah.
Well, to the two of you, I said restaurant royalty, and I meant that. And thanks for,
Thank
we
you,
all do
John.
different things in life, but me personally, but so many, thousands of us, you really enhance the quality of our lives.
Oh, thank you very much. That's
John,
really generous.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
gracious.
you, and thank you for being here, and thanks to all my guests today, and thank you for watching. Now, if you have any questions about the show or want more information, you can check out my website at www.johnfmckeon.com, and be sure that you have a great day today in New Jersey.